faceless, we were born for greatness. Somebody sound the alarm. A fire was set in the dark. It's time that you know. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. It doesn't matter if the world is gone mad, if we just hold on, if we just hold on, yeah. The sky is falling and the world is gone mad, and we sing our songs and we just hold on, yeah. So if you're running, stop running. One life, one chance, start living. Sing it louder just to let the world know. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. We're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. We're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. They say that I'm reckless, because I'm relentless. They spit on my face and crush on my name and taking my life in vengeance. Yeah, you could try and blame us and try and take what's sacred, but we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. Somebody sound the alarm. A fire was set in the dark. It's time that you know. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. It doesn't matter if the world is gone mad, if we just hold on, if we just hold on, yeah. The sky is falling and the world is gone mad, and we sing our songs and we just hold on, yeah. So if you're running, stop running. One life, one chance, start living. Sing it louder just to let the world know. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. We're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. Somebody sound the alarm. It's time that you know. It doesn't matter if the world is gone mad, if we just hold on, if we just hold on, yeah. Sing it louder just to let the world know. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. We were born for greatness. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness.
Red alert, John, shine a light down on the front line.
said we're lucky to have got this far, and that it's not worth fighting for. The words are written on the wall. Come on and fight back, no starting over again. We'll take it right back from the ones where again it's time to rise up, even though they left us for dead. This is our last stand. Take a chance now and draw a line in the sand. It's in our hands now, no living with regret. It's time to rise up, even though they left us for dead. This is our last stand. This is our last
If you smell what the rock is cooking. The rock says, the rock says. The rock says, the rock.
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. You got your rules and your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. I have a voice that is my savior, hates to love and loves to hate. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to your fate. I hear voices crying, I see heroes dying, I taste blood that's trying, I feel tension rising. I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me, they talk to me.
Hello and welcome to the WWE Wrestling Talk Show with Reese Rock Jones and
Sean Randy Smith, and we bring you our reactions to Clash of Champions, which came at you from the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina.
and not just do we bring you the Clash of Champions, but this is also a very significant show in other aspects of WWE and the wrestling industry. For starters, this will be the last episode of this show which takes place before the Wednesday Night Wars begin, when NXT goes head to head with AEW's new show.
Yes, it'll be very interesting to see how this Wednesday Night Wars should go.
Also, just before we get into Clash of Champions, I will jump forward to a segment on Raw and SmackDown the night after, which featured the King of the Ring final.
Oh yes, of
This
course.
was originally going to take place at Clash of Champions, but was moved to the night after. And making it to the final, as we said last week, were for Raw, Baron Corbin, and on SmackDown, Chad Gable.
And this was to determine who would win the King of the Ring 2019.
And the King of the Ring 2019, after a valiant effort by one superstar, is unfortunately Baron Corbin.
Who will now be called King Corbin.
However, he did not get to enjoy his coronation ceremony when his throne and crown were destroyed by Chad Gable. But now, let's jump back into what took place on Sunday night and how it will affect WWE going forward, especially in 2 weeks when we bring you Hell in a Cell or Red in a Cell. So, Clash of Champions. Every championship in WWE was on the line. Also, every main roster championship was on the line. So we have 10 championship matches in official matches and 11th one which is featured but not in a official match, and a 1 no disqualification personal rivalry match. So let's start with the kickoff show.
Yes, for the pre-show. I mean, Cruiserweight Championship.
Yes, Drew Gulak took on Humberto Carrillo and Lince Dorado in a triple threat match, which was high-flying and very entertaining to watch.
Absolutely.
After 10 minutes of back and forth actions, near falls after near falls, roll up, break pin. The match ended with the key to any triple threat match, which is right place, right time, because Humberto Carrillo performed the Aztec press on Lince Dorado. However, just before being able to get the pin, Drew Gulak threw him out of the ring and pinned Dorado himself to retain the championship, proving the point, right place, right time.
Pretty much that's how triple threat matches normally work, but for the first time in a long time, United States Championship managed to work its way onto the pre-show.
Yes, and given the fact that this match was thrown together at the last minute, I can kind of understand why. The AJ Styles was defending against the man who had pinned him on Raw, Cedric Alexander. Now, this was essentially a squash match.
Pretty much.
Because it was only about 4 minutes, just under 5 minutes long. AJ Styles did send Gallows and Anderson back to the locker room, but that didn't change much because after a bit of momentum from Alexander, AJ Styles hit a Styles crash on the outside.
He did.
Followed by a phenomenal forearm and a 3 count to retain the United States Championship, and then there was a beatdown for Alexander by every member of the OC.
With a magic killer that was delivered to Cedric Alexander in the middle of the ring.
The main show opened up with the Raw Tag Team Championship match, when defending champions Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman, who had to face each other later in the night for the Universal Championship, defended against Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, who we call the Glorious Show-Offs.
But now, prior to this recording, they have now got an official name of Glorious Domination.
It is roughly the same as what we were doing. We knew they were going to be Glorious something. But in this match, it was typical back and forth tag team action.
Yes.
It was a slight how do I say this, miscommunication or bad timing that resulted in the end of the match. Because in the end of the match, Strowman would go charging towards Robert Roode.
Only to clock Seth Rollins in the process.
Yes, to hit Rollins in the process. Strowman would go after Ziggler, but this hit on Rollins caused Roode to be able to perform the glorious DDT and get the victory, which means that the new Raw Tag Team Champions are Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler.
But back to the match, Braun Strowman appeared to be a little bit apologetic.
Kind of, but when he went backstage, he did blame it on Seth Rollins. Switching to SmackDown, next we had the SmackDown Women's Championship match when Bayley would defend against Charlotte Flair. Now, there isn't a lot to say about this match, partly because the match didn't go that long.
No.
So, they get down to the ring. Flair performed her signature big boot onto Bayley practically immediately for a near fall.
Yeah.
But then, and targeted the knee trying to get the figure eight in.
Yeah.
But in the end, it was, I want to say, almost an Eddie Guerrero type move.
Yeah.
That would signal the end for this match when Bayley managed to expose the bottom or middle turnbuckle,
in which Charlotte managed to bounce head first off of,
and allowing Bayley to get the pinfall and literally run out of the arena as SmackDown Women's Champion.
pretty much.
Staying with SmackDown, we then moved on to the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match.
Oh yes.
The
As
Big E and Xavier Woods of the New Day defending against Randy Orton's BFFs, The Revival. In this match, it was a bit of a back and forth type thing, although The Revival tended to mostly dominate. There was a lot of going after Xavier Woods' injured knee in this match, as we suspected they would.
taking advantage of an injured body part, as you would do in a championship match.
But towards the end of the match, so the match ended when The Revival would manage to get Big E outside by the commentator's table and hit him with a shatter machine. Hit him with
on
a...
the outside, which effectively
Yeah.
ruled him out of the match.
Yes, and then that left Xavier Woods to deal in a 2-on-1 situation, and despite putting up a valiant fight, he was also hit with a shatter machine, but that wasn't good enough for The Revival, because they then locked on a inverted figure 4 redlock. And whilst Xavier Woods attempted to hold on, he was forced to submit, allowing the SmackDown Tag Team Championships to change hands, and the champions now being The Revival.
Who are a Raw tag team.
Yes, but considering what's coming up in a few weeks, I think that's about to change, but we'll get into that in a while.
We'll get onto that on a different show. But now, it's time for...
Yes, we stick to a tag team theme, only we go to the Women's Tag Team Championship match, when Fire and Desire, otherwise known as Mandy Rose and
Sonya Deville,
would challenge Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
Now, this match was good until we had a little bit of a funny segment involving the 24/7 championship.
Yes, this championship match turned into 2 title matches in one, because R-Truth came running down the crowd. Because before this match, Alexa Bliss had told everyone where Truth was. So about halfway through this match, they came chasing him down to the ring. Alexa Bliss, funnily enough, attempts to pin R-Truth, but he manages to escape with the championship.
Yep.
But that did not end this match, because this match carried on for several more minutes.
It did.
After managing to perform a swinging neck breaker onto Mandy Rose, Nikki Cross would get the pinfall to allow Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross to retain the Women's Tag Team Championships.
A very well deserving one at that.
Now we stick to SmackDown again as we go to the Intercontinental Championship.
Yes, as Shinsuke Nakamura defended his Intercontinental title, who also had Sami Zayn at ringside, as he defended his championship against The Miz.
The Miz went into this looking to equal Chris Jericho's 9 reigns as Intercontinental Champion. And if it wasn't for a certain Canadian commentator, if you can call him that, outside of the ring, he probably would have done it.
Yes.
Because it was a distraction by Sami Zayn after a Skull Crescent finale on Nakamura. It caused The Miz to be distracted, and then he was, after chasing Zayn, he was caught into a Kinshasa, which got the 3 count, and means that still Intercontinental Champion is Shinsuke Nakamura, which at the moment I am actually sort of glad about.
Yeah.
The Intercontinental Championship needs to be given maybe a bit more of a mainstream, but the fact that Nakamura had recently won it, he should have kept it.
Yeah.
Now, we had 2 horsewomen face each other for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Yes.
The other 2 would also face each other for the Raw Women's Championship.
As the man, Becky Lynch, or shall we call her Becky Rollins, defended her championship against the other half of the Boston Home connection of Sasha Banks.
Becky and Seth aren't married yet, so it's not Becky Rollins.
Not yet, but won't be far off.
So this was a hard-hitting match, to put it slightly. In which you would go 20 minutes in length. Yes, we had a bank statement. I think we had a disarmer somewhere in there.
Yep, it is.
But in the end, it was almost Sasha deciding to channel... We know that Sasha is a big fan of Eddie Guerrero, and she tried to channel in Eddie Guerrero into this match by almost lying, cheating and stealing her way to the title when she caused a distraction to the referee, hit Lynch with a chair, but and then the signing wizard kick, but Lynch was able to kick out. Here is where things got a little bit interesting, because Becky Lynch managed to get hold of a chair and accidentally hit the referee, which caused a brawl to take place
Throughout the WWE universe.
throughout the arena. They almost redid the spot on Raw where Sasha Banks had Charlotte in the bank statement on the rail up the audience steps when she won the women's championship on Raw. But they eventually get back to the ring, continue brawling until some more officials and backstage personnel are brought out to hold them back. As a result of hitting the referee, Becky Lynch was disqualified, allowing Sasha Banks to win, but Becky Lynch retained the championship. This, however, would lead to a Hell in a Cell rematch being made to take place at and inside Hell in a Cell.
Which would make it the second ever women's match inside Hell in a Cell.
And the second one for Sasha Banks. Can she come out on the victorious side of this one?
And our next match is going to go back to the SmackDown side, as Kofi Kingston of the New Day defended his WWE Championship against Randy Orton.
Yes, after their match at SummerSlam ended in a double count out, this match was made.
Yes.
And it was hard hitting.
Hard pounding.
We had Orton perform his signature snap power slam for the near fall.
Yep.
An SOS for the near fall.
Yep.
Randy Orton did manage to hit the three most dangerous letters in wrestling, RKO.
RKO.
But Kofi Kingston was too close to the ropes
He was.
and managed to break up the count. Then Randy Orton did what he had attempted to do, what we haven't seen in almost 10 years. He attempted to go for the punt to the head,
Which has taken out several superstars in the past.
except Kingston managed to counter and hit Trouble in Paradise to get the 3 count and retain the championship. However, I do hope Kofi Kingston enjoys the 2 weeks or so that he has got left as champion, because on SmackDown, after
This past week,
the New Day defeated Randy Orton and the Revival in a 6-man tag team match, out came the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar,
oh God,
with his advocate Paul Heyman,
the executive director of Monday Night Raw,
and they would challenge Kofi Kingston to a WWE Championship match on October 4th when SmackDown moves from the USA Network to Fox, and from Tuesday to Friday.
Yeah, to which Kofi Kingston accepted, only to be met by an F5 from Brock Lesnar.
That leaves 2 matches on the card, both of which, well, one of which is a SmackDown match, the other one is a Raw match. The
Yes.
no disqualification match were between Eric Rowan and Roman Reigns.
And this match went all over the arena.
Yes, hard hitting tables, ring steps,
Then Superman punches,
steel chairs,
the list goes on.
etc.
But then comes someone to help out Eric Rowan.
Yes, because outside, at the end of the match, Roman Reigns would go for a spear onto Eric Rowan, only to be intercepted with a boot by Rowan's former Wyatt family / Bludgeon Brothers partner, Luke Harper.
Who we haven't seen on WWE TV in a long, long time
He
due
was,
to contractual issues.
and injury. A big,
But all thanks to Harper's interference, Eric Rowan managed to pick up the win.
yes, following the boot, a discus clothesline, and then an iron claw. But then
Now,
we go to the main event.
of Clash of Champions,
After losing the Raw Tag Team Championships, Rollins and Strowman had faced each other for the Universal Championship.
yes,
So this was a bit of a interesting match.
it was.
We targeted Strowman's knee throughout the match.
He did.
We had a super kick, not a Sweet Sound music, but a super kick and a frog splash performed onto Strowman, but he kicked out before the referee could even count.
He did, that's correct.
In something I never thought I would see, Strowman hit a top rope splash, which kind of injured his knees even more, but Rollins kicked out. And then we get to the ending. Rollins would hit a stomp,
He did.
Strowman would kick out at 1. Rollins would hit a second stomp, Rollins kicked out at 2. Rollins hit a third stomp, Strowman kicked out at 2. Then Strowman would attempt a running power slam, but his leg gave out, allowing Seth Rollins to dig way deep into his pile of tricks and perform the pedigree, thank you Triple H,
Yes, thank you.
followed by a 4th stomp that would finally keep Strowman down for the 3 count. However, Rollins' celebration did not last very long.
As the lights went out in the arena,
Yes, he was at the entrance ramp. Lights go out. The Fiend appears, hits
aka Bray Wyatt,
his sister Abigail, and then the mandible claw.
and that indicates to us that the Fiend, aka Bray Wyatt, now has his sights set on the Universal Championship.
Indeed he does, because it's been made official, just like Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch will compete inside Hell in a Cell, so will Seth Rollins and the Fiend Bray Wyatt.
So,
we'll run through these results one more time.
Yes, we will. Starting with
Drew Gulak defeated Humberto Carrillo and Lindsay Dorado in a triple threat match to retain the Cruiserweight Championship.
AJ Styles retained his United States Championship against Cedric Alexander.
Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler would defeat Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman to win the Raw Tag Team Championships.
Bayley retained her SmackDown Women's Championship against the Queen Charlotte Flair.
The Revival and Scott Dawson and Das Wilder defeated the New Days, Big E and Xavier Woods to win the SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross retained their WWE Women's Tag Team Championships against Fire and Desire's Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville.
Shinsuke Nakamura, with a little bit of help from Sami Zayn, defeated The Miz to retain the Intercontinental Championship.
Sasha Banks beat Becky Lynch by disqualification, but Becky Lynch is still your Raw Women's Champion.
Kofi Kingston defeated Randy Orton to retain the WWE Championship.
Eric Rowan, thanks to some help from Luke Harper, defeated the big dog Roman Reigns.
And Seth Rollins defeated Braun Strowman to retain the Universal Championship.
So that does it for Clash of Champions.
Join us in a couple of weeks where we shall bring you the first of several shows throughout the month of October.
So until then, he's been
Lisa Rock Jones and he's been
Sean Randy Smith, and thank you for listening. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Before you go, I just remembered something.
And what was that?
Whilst we're going to do the show on NXT and AEW, but we're also probably going to need to do a show on the draft.
Oh, yes. Of course.
So that's
Yeah.
the Wednesday Night Raws beginning, Hell in a Cell, the draft. 2K, 2K20 and Crown Jewel all taking place throughout October, beginning of November.
By the way, your game's still 0-0, 57 minutes gone.